fast and seemingly available everywhere on the world. Let's find out how fast food spread over the globe and how we can build our own fast food chain in Capitalism Lab with the Service Industry DLC. The fast food game is all about speed, scaling, and staying one step ahead of the competition. Welcome to the Light Proton channel. If you enjoy our business gameplay content, don't forget to like the video and follow the Light Proton channel. If you'd like to jump straight into the gameplay, just press Ctrl and the right arrow key on your keyboard, or use the video timeline below to skip ahead to the gameplay chapter. But if you're curious about how fast food chains grow so quickly through franchising, just keep on going, we are just getting started. The era of fast food chains likely began in 1940 with the opening of the first branch of a now world-famous American fast food brand. While the founders originally launched a barbecue restaurant, they soon realized that their concept could be even more successful with a streamlined approach. By 1948, they shut down the original location and reopened it with a new idea. This new model focused on a limited menu, best-selling products, fast preparation, low prices, and high automation, laying the foundation for the operational model still used by many fast food chains today. While the operational model was in place by 1948, the rapid expansion did not begin until 1955, when a visionary salesperson joined the company. He recognized the huge potential of the concept and drove its growth by maintaining efficient operations, establishing consistency across all locations, and building a strong, recognizable brand. These elements remain at the heart of the company's strategy today. Most of us know that no matter where we visit one of these restaurants, we can expect the same taste, quality, and style of service. More than 70 years later, these qualities are still key to the brand's global success. Though it must also be said that they weren't the first to apply this model, but eventually became the dominant model. But there's one more essential piece to this concept. How can a company open so many stores in such a short time? Setting up thousands of locations requires enormous investments and a huge workforce. That is where the franchise model comes in, a powerful engine for growth in the fast food industry. Please note that Capitalism Lab and the Service Industry DLC do not yet simulate franchising, so we will play it in the game by building and scaling it manually. However, we will still continue to summarize the concept of franchising as it is a very important business model for fast food chains. Franchising allows the brand to scale rapidly by enabling individual entrepreneurs to invest in and operate stores under the company's name. This model has become a cornerstone of success for fast food chains around the world. A franchising agreement always includes two parties. The franchisor, providing a name, an image, and a way of doing business, to the so-called franchisee, who pays a royalty fee in exchange. Franchising can have advantages for both parties, the franchisor offering the franchise and the franchisee buying the franchise. For the franchisor, franchising allows rapid expansion with lower capital requirements. Since franchisees invest their own money to set up local stores, the company doesn't need to fund every new location itself. Human resources are also more efficient. The franchisor can maintain a lean central team focused on support and brand management, while franchisees are responsible for hiring and managing staff at their locations. But what about the franchisee? Franchisees pay royalty fees, which may include an upfront payment and a share of ongoing revenue. So, why would someone choose to pay these fees instead of starting their own independent business? Because franchise also brings major advantages to the franchisee, and we will look at those next. The franchisee benefits from advantages that reduce the risks typically associated with starting a new business. Rather than building everything from scratch, they can rely on the established foundation of the franchise. The business they operate already has a recognized name, proven products, and a trusted service model. The franchisee does not need to build brand awareness or earn customer loyalty from zero. Franchisees also benefit from management support provided by the franchisor. It is common for franchisors to offer training programs, operational guidance, and ongoing assistance, especially valuable for those with limited experience in the industry. Another advantage is the ability to benefit from economies of scale. As part of a large network, the franchisee gains access to the franchisor's purchasing power, securing better prices and more reliable quality than a solo business could achieve. This is especially important in the fast food industry, where consistency and cost control are critical. Another key factor in the success of a brand is marketing. In franchise systems, franchisees often contribute a percentage of their revenue to a shared advertising fund, allowing the franchisor to run national or regional campaigns that benefit all locations. This means franchisees typically contribute a small share of their revenue to a shared advertising fund, which supports large-scale marketing efforts that an individual operator could never afford alone. All of this means that by joining a franchise, entrepreneurs can reduce risk, access expert support, and tap into a network of resources and efficiencies, far beyond what most could achieve when starting a completely independent business. While franchising offers advantages, it is important to remember that it also comes with potential downsides. Franchisees often have little control over pricing, menu changes, or promotional campaigns. Therefore, one of the biggest challenges in the dependence is the dependency of the franchisee on the franchisor. On the other hand, franchisors face risks as well. Since they do not directly manage franchise locations, they depend heavily on the skills and professionalism of each franchisee. Poor management at one location can harm the entire brand's image. In Capitalism Lab, launching a fast food chain means there's only one path: doing it all ourselves. Thanks to the new service industry DLC, we can now run our own service-based business chains, whether it's coffee houses, fast food joints, cake shops, or pizzerias. We have started to explore these features in depth and seen how they impact the gameplay in our first session when building up a coffeehouse chain from scratch. If you are curious about that video, you can find the link in the description below. Today, we will continue our journey with the DLC and take things to the next level by expanding into the fast food industry. We will build our own brand, set up our restaurants, and manage the entire supply chain, from ingredients to the final meal served. It is up to us to make the big decisions: where to open our first location, how to handle supply chain risks, and how to stay ahead of AI competitors who are trying to do the same thing. We will decide whether to expand into busy shopping malls or focus on standalone locations. We will also choose whether to import ingredients or grow them ourselves on company-run farms. As we saw in the last session, being quick and strategic gave us a big head start. But this time the competition will be tougher. We will need to do more than just grow fast, and we will also face higher investments into farming to get access to the ingredients for fast food. Ready to get into the fast food business? Grab your favorite food and let's jump into the game. And wish us good luck with our strategies. If you enjoy this kind of business gameplay content, don't forget to like the video and follow the Light Proton channel. Here we are in the main menu of the game. We are playing version 11.067, the release version, and load the last session from last time. Before directly setting up a new fast food restaurant and start building up our fast food chain, we will first of all remind ourselves of the environment we will play in. Here on the world map, we see that we have one city, Salzwedel, which is a smaller city with a population less than 1 million inhabitants, two medium-sized cities with a population of more than 1 million inhabitants, and one large city, Chicago, with a population of more than 4 million inhabitants. And when checking the corporate report in the information center, over here, in the firm's overview, we see that we have already set up headquarters. We have set up 13 service firms, which are all coffee shops selling our coffee products in all of the cities, in all of the shopping malls. We have 3 R&D centers running research projects to improve the preparation technology of our coffee products. One farm providing coffee beans to a warehouse, which distributes it to all over the different coffee shops in the cities, and an import company which helps us to get access to input ingredients we need for coffee products, which we did not had access to before. And also when we see here in the products overview, all of the 3 different coffee products are already prepared and sold. And additionally, we are already producing our own coffee beans, and we are producing our own milk. There's one question which is frequently asked about the brand. The brand of our coffee house chain of this type of service firms is one which stands separately from a retail brand. So each of the different types of service firms, pizzerias, cake shops, coffee shops, or fast food joints have their own brand. And this means the setting here does not affect this service firm brand. Nevertheless, we will switch to range brand. Maybe we will need it later too. For coffee business, this is always a good starting point if we want to go into service industries with our corporation, because we don't need so much of initial capital investments. One farm is enough, a warehouse, as long as we have access to the other input products needed to prepare coffee. We can see this here in the information center, new manufacturers and preparation guide. We see that, of course, for sure, all of the coffee products need coffee beans, and then milk and sugar and paper. As long as we have access to paper somehow through a seaport or a competitor, and to sugar, the only thing we need to do is grow coffee beans and produce our own milk, and that's it. For fast food, this gets a little bit more complex. Different kinds of input products are needed, requiring more farming and therefore more manufacturing and therefore higher investments. Though we until now came along with no loan at all, we will need this in the next steps. We need to borrow money to cover all of the initial investments to set up our fast food chain. And let's simply do that now. Let's set up our first fast food restaurant. And again, we will rent space in one of the shopping malls of the city of Salzwedel, because this saves some of the initial efforts we have. If we set up a service firm somewhere in the city on ground, we have to buy the land, which is quite expensive. Renting space in a shopping mall is much cheaper. Therefore, we will compare the different shopping malls and decide where to set up our first fast food restaurant. Here in the shopping mall overview, we can check the shopping mall overall rating. This is 27 for this one. Here's another one. Here it is 25. And over there, outside of the city, there's a third one with a shopping mall overall rating of 11. So we will pick the one with the highest rating, this one, go to the stores overview, set up a store, pick under other firms the fast food joint, and therefore start with our first fast food restaurants. When entering this fast food restaurants, it's still empty. And we first need to set up the preparation of the meals we want to sell. And therefore, we will first of all always invest into training to scale our business fast, train our staff so that they gain in speed and efficiency and produce more meals in the same time. To set up a layout on this floor, we click on this book. And let's first start with hamburger, set up layout for hamburger. And we see here that we have 4 input units, 3 preparation units, and 2 sales units required. And let's check for the input products where to get them from. Tomatoes. Here in the overview, we see that Global Link, a competitor, is providing tomatoes over a farm. We will link to that, and this way we get access to tomatoes. Burger buns. Let's check. Burger buns is available at a factory from the competitor Fusion, so we will link to this. They will sell it to us. And for burger patties, we find no supplier. This we will solve later. First, let's also set up the other floors. In total number 3. In the second floor, we will set up the layout for fried chicken, like that. Frozen chicken is also not available on the market, I believe. No, this is not the case. And flour, this is available through a seaport in the city of Salzwedel. We will link against that. And on the third floor, we will prepare French fries. We need potatoes. Let's check potatoes. No, not available. And paper. Paper is already used by us for coffee products. Therefore, we have access to it through a seaport in Salzwedel. Let's solve the gaps, which are required to be filled. Otherwise, we are not able to produce anything and sell anything in our fast food restaurant. Let's start with potatoes. Potatoes need to be grown. We can check this in the farmer's guide here in the information center. Clicking on potato, they are grown between April and August. We are now in the month of January after the first year in 2001. Therefore, we would need to wait quite some time until we get access to potatoes. And as we don't want to wait and we want to scale and grow rapidly, we will not do that. We will first of all get access to it through our import company. And this is located here. We can here in this import company click on add import and check whether it's already provided. It's an available item for import. This is not the case. Therefore, we will make use of our remaining knowledge points to add potato and potato import. Use knowledge points. 3 knowledge points are deducted. And now we have access to potatoes with a quality of 62, which is quite okay. Now let's return to our fast food joint. Link to the potatoes provided by our import company, like that. And now let's see how French fries get prepared and sold to our customers. Here it is. Those are our first French fries. The overall rating of our product is 25. City overall average is 12, so we are much higher, so demand should be increasing quite quickly. And this is actually the case. Let's move on. Second is fried chicken. We need frozen chicken for that. And frozen chicken can be easily produced by ourselves in our own farms. We will set up a new farm right next to the farm which produces milk and coffee beans. And this is where setting up the supply chain and the fast food business gets a little bit more expensive, because setting up a new farm requires, in this time, more than $10 million. We set it up like that. We add 2 livestock raising units, 2 livestock processing units, 1 sales unit and 1 inventory unit, which serves as a buffer. Link everything like that. Raise livestock, which will be chicken, 2 times. We'll move on with 1 or 2 days. And now we can select the product, which is frozen chicken. Wait for another 2 days, and there it is available for sales. And now we go back to our fast food joint and link to the farm producing frozen chicken. Yeah, from Light Proton. Now we are also selling fried chicken. Let's check our overall rating. It's 20, much higher than the city overall, so that's fine. So demand should increase quite quickly. And we are selling our first fried chicken. What about hamburgers? For hamburgers, we still need burger patties. Burger patties, you can check this in the manufacturer's guide over here, are produced by frozen beef. and frozen beef can also be produced in our own farms. So once again, we'll set up another large farm. And again, we need $10 million to set it up right next to it. Invest into training. This is very important for farms, as training not only impacts the speed of our units, but also the quality of our units. This is only the case for farms because there's no research and development which can be invested into for farming. We need 2 units for livestock raising, 2 for processing, 1 sales and 1 inventory again. Link everything like that. This time choose cattle. Wait for a day or 2. Then select the product, which is frozen beef in this case. Wait until it is sold by the farm. Here it is. And this is only the first step. The second step is that we also need a factory, a large factory. We will put it right next to this farm. Invest into training to improve in efficiency. And then select this layout with 2 purchasing units and 2 sales units, 5 manufacturing units, enough production capacity to serve the demand of some of our fast food restaurants. For now, it's only 1. Purchase beef from ourselves. Now producing burger patties. There they are. And going back to the fast food joint, also linking to the burger patty from the factory. And that's it. Now we can also prepare and sell hamburgers. Let's check the overall rating. It's 17 compared to 15 city overall. We will reduce a little bit the price to support faster growth and demand. With a better price position, we have a better overall product rating. So what else do we need to do to have a good product rating, to be prepared when competition enters the market in Salzwedel and does not easily capture our market share? There are 2 more aspects. One is brand and the other is quality. To improve brand, of course, we need to invest into advertising, as we have now a brand new brand for our fast food chain. With a brand awareness of 0, we will start from scratch. We will now link to all of the media stations in Salzwedel and invest a little bit, 50k per media station, to run advertising campaigns and improve in brand awareness. This should be sufficient for a smaller city like Salzwedel with less than 1 million inhabitants, 150k of monthly advertising spending to slowly grow the brand awareness. Going back to operation, we also see that quality impacts our overall product. And quality is improved by R&D projects. This means that we need to set up R&D centers where research and development projects are run to improve the production technology and improve the overall product quality. The other aspect which improves the product quality, which we sell here in this fast food joint, is the quality of the input product. We will take care of this later. For now, we will set up R&D centers to improve the preparation technology. We can check the impact again in the manufacturer's guide. In preparation guide, we see here that raw material quality, for example, for hamburger, makes up 60% of the quality, production technology 40%. It's 50-50 for the fried chicken and 50-50 for the French fries. As we have activated the digital HDLC and we are playing with the talent system, we first need to find out where are the most suitable, the best R&D talents to run our research and development projects. We will navigate to our headquarters. Here in the human resources department, we can check for fast food and in the different cities, the skills of those who are available on the open job market. And obviously, after navigating through all of the cities, Seattle is the best place to set up our first R&D center. We will go to Seattle, go to the suburban area and set up our first R&D center in Seattle. Over here, training to the maximum to improve the efficiency also of research and development. Double check whether there's anything for headhunting, nothing. And then go to fast food and hire all. Start R&D, first for French fries, and now we can select the R&D duration. Usually I prefer to pick the 1 year duration. It's a good balance between making progress fast in the quality of our technology, but at the same time not waiting too long until the research project is actually realized and impacts our product. This time, as first step, we will start with 6 months and then switch to 1 year afterwards, so that within a very short time frame of 6 months, we already have a tech advancement. 6 months, and the same also for fried chicken and hamburger. So again, we check for the talents. Seattle still has highly skilled job candidates. So once again, moving on to Seattle. Now checking our bank account, we see that we have not enough funds left to set up another R&D center. We can just try it out. Not enough cash. And this is where at this point we will take loan. We will move to the information center, to financial actions, and let's try to get over with 54 million. Borrow, 54 million added to our bank account, now paying interest rates, of course. But we can afford the second research and development center, training to the maximum, this layout, fast food, hire all, start R&D, fried chicken this time, again 6 months. Once more, hamburger, fast food, where are the highest skilled job candidates? There are a couple highly skilled in Chicago. Yeah, let's go to Chicago. And here in this suburban area, set up another R&D center. There's already one. Training. This layout. Let's check for headhunting. This is not possible. 0 headhunt targets. Therefore, we simply recruit from the open job market. Start R&D, hamburger, 6 months. That's it. So now we are also improving the preparation technology of our fast food joints. Of course, also the input products make up for the overall product quality. For everything which is produced by farms, the quality is determined by 2 factors. One is how long and how much we invest into training and improve in experience of the units over time, and therefore improve the quality of farming products. And the other is in our own person, the expertise. Here with the farming expertise, and we have 80, which is quite high, we already have a head start in unit experience, and therefore already right from the start, the quality of our farming products are quite good. Quality 66. Usually it would be 30 or below, but now it's already 66 due to our high business expertise. Good that we have it, right? That's it. And now we have already taken care of producing all the fast food products, selling them, and improving our market position. What is the next step? The next step would be to grow our fast food chain. We only have 1 restaurant now, and for sure we want to have many more. We will set up again in all of the shopping malls of the city, just like we have done this with coffee shops, fast food joints. And we will make use of a very helpful function, and this is the duplicate in mall feature. We activate it. Go to the next shopping mall, set up a store, existing firm, click OK. It's the service firm, 2x2 size, and there it is, fast food joint. Let's simply start to simulate and observe how the different products are prepared and demand is increasing. Great, this worked. Once again, duplicate a mall. Now go to the third one of the city, this one which is far outside of the city. Fast food joint. And again, let's see how they prepare the meals and sell it to the customers. Hamburger is already there, fried chicken and french fries coming next. For some of the products, the demand will now grow slower than in the other shopping malls. And the reason for that is that there's a lower customer traffic in this shopping mall. Obviously, it's outside of the city, and we see here that the area customer traffic is 11 compared to in the others 26 and 28, much higher. Therefore, growth of demand is faster. That's it. 3 fast food restaurants already opened. Now, the next aspect which we need to take care when we grow our business is understanding, analyzing our supply chain for dependencies and risks. For anything which we don't produce by ourselves, but procure from competitors, from import deals, or from seaports, there might be a probability for a supply chain disruption. When the competitor stops to produce the product or does not sell it anymore to us, the seaport switches to another product to be imported, or the import deal is not available anymore. And therefore, we will now also take care of switching from procuring input products from someone else into producing it by ourselves. And this, for example, must also be the case for burger buns. Currently, it is supplied by Fusion, a factory from the company called Fusion. And we can simply, instead of getting it from them, establish by ourselves a factory, a large factory. Let's put it here with maximum training, purchasing of flour, 2 sales units, 5 manufacturing units. Like that. Link to flour. It's provided by a seaport in Salzwedel, once and twice. Now let's observe how burger buns are prepared. There they are. And we can now simply, in our fast food joints, link to the burger buns from our own factory. And we will now do this in batch for all restaurants at once. Clicking on batch, service firm, our corporation, Salzwedel, batch switching supplier. So all of the 3 terms we have already set up are updated. Great. That is solved. What about the other input ingredients we need? Burger patty comes from us. Burger buns is also switched. Tomato comes from a competitor. Tomato we need to grow by ourselves, and this takes some time. But to not forget that at a later stage when tomato growing season starts, we will already now set up the farms. The smart managers from you will already think that it makes sense to only do it in June when the growing season starts, but so that we can explain the concept here and that we don't forget to do it at a later stage, we will already now grow in a new farm tomatoes. Farm, large farm, training to improve efficiency and quality, crop growing, 2 units, 1 sales unit, grow crop, tomato, we see starts in June, harvesting is in September. So it takes a while until we have them, and we need to remember when they are ready. And this way we have until September, we have this dependency on the supplier, but from there then we will have lesser risks of disruptions. One point on coffee beans and coffee shops. Coffee products all obviously heavily rely on coffee beans. And coffee beans in our coffee house chain for all of the 13 coffee houses are currently provided all through this one farm. And there's always a probability that this farm is somehow not functioning anymore. For example, if we disrupt it by ourselves by making an error. Or if there's a fire on the farm gets lost, which, depending on gameplay options, might even happen in this simulation. And this is a huge risk. We have only one farm producing coffee beans and one warehouse storing coffee beans. Therefore, it makes sense to a little bit diversify in growing coffee beans. Therefore, we will, from now on, not only do it in this one farm, we will also go to the other farm and set up growing coffee beans. Of course, coffee beans, I think, are only grown from July onwards, so it will not start immediately, but having it set up already now, coffee tree, we have mitigated the risk for the future. That's it. Now returning back to our fast food joint and thinking of what else we need, potatoes. Potatoes are currently supplied by our import company through an import deal. And to vertically integrate and not be depending on the import deal, we can also now start to grow our own potatoes. Potatoes, the same as coffee beans, we need a lot. We can see the exact amounts which are needed per product here in this overview. We see, for example, 5 pounds of potatoes make up 5 units of French fries. 3 pounds of frozen chicken make up 5 units of fried chicken, and so on. There you can identify the ratio and see a little bit, anticipate how much is needed. I believe we need a lot of potatoes, so we will do the same as for coffee beans. In 2 farms, we will start to grow them. Potatoes, like that, grow here, once again. And also in this farm, there's still space for 2 crop growing units, 1 sales unit. Again, potato, once more potato. And that's it. What else do we need? There's one aspect we don't need to neglect. And also for the case of fried chicken, we have this input ingredient of flour. And flour, we can check this in the manufacturer's guide, is produced and made out of wheat. At the moment, it's provided by a seaport. And we will soon, when we have our own wheat, we will produce it by ourselves. So we will go back to our farm. There's still space left. And also here grow what we need, wheat. And that's it. Everything is taken care of. The supply chain, after a few months, will go from dependencies from outside suppliers into our own self-produced products. Next step, after setting up restaurants and supply chain in Salzwedel, emerging into the other cities. What city to go next? In my view, a very nice and good option would be to go to the city which has the smallest distance to our current city, where we have set up the first restaurants and the production and farms we need for the input ingredients. Why? Because then the transport distance is not so long and we can simply link to them in Salzwedel, do not pay so much in transport costs, and still can run our fast food restaurant with competitive pricing. We see that Salzwedel and Naples are both on the European continent, so they are rather close, whereas Seattle and Chicago apparently are both on the North American continent. So we will next go to Naples, move there, and here we will do the same again. We will, from Salzwedel, exactly with the same layout, with the same input products and links, we will duplicate this one, go to Naples, to one of the shopping malls, set up a new store, existing firm, replicate this existing one, and there it is. And let's see how the different products are produced. Now we of course still have to do a little bit. We need to check all of the products and the pricing. For example, the hamburger has an overall rating of 14, whereas the city overall is 16, which is not very attractive. So we'll reduce the price to improve the product rating and support rapid growth. We'll do this for hamburger. For fried chicken, it's fine. And for French fries, it's also fine. We leave it like that. Soon demand should increase. And this works. Also, of course, not only in the city of Salzwedel, also in Naples, we want to improve the brand awareness. Therefore, we switch to the marketing tab, link to all media stations, and attribute this time a little bit of a higher advertising budget. 100K here, another 100K here, and 50K here. The reason is that Naples, it's a larger city than Salzwedel, with more than 1 million inhabitants, and therefore we need a higher advertising budget to reach the same brand awareness within the same time. Yeah, this works. And now we again duplicate everything into the other malls. Set up a store, existing firm. Let's check whether everything works and the different products are prepared. Hamburger is there. Fries is there. And also fried chicken is there. Once again, duplicate. And go to the third shopping mall, this one. Set up a new floor, existing. Fast food joint, double check that everything works. Brand awareness is already 1. All products appear here and demand is improving. That's great. So therefore now, within very short time and with a few clicks, we also are running 3 restaurants in the city of Naples. Great. For the other two cities in North America, we can try the same approach and let's see how it impacts our products. We will first go to Chicago, at the largest market with the highest demand for our products, and a lower real wage rate of Seattle, so the operating costs are a little bit lower. Let's go there and start doing it. Chicago. Here we find 1, 2, 3 shopping malls in one place. This is a very attractive place as it is very close to the CBD and usually the area customer traffic should be quite high. Here's another one, a fourth one. It's a large city. We see this already on the map. But that's all. 4 shopping centers. And in each of them, I think we have opened a coffee shop. No, this is not the case. For example, this one, we have not yet opened a coffee shop. Let's do that right now. Because there's still very high market potential for coffee products. The demand is much higher than what we can produce through the 3 coffee shops which we have set up already. We see this here in this view that most of this circle is still white and we are not able to supply. There's no competitor so far. Here it seems someone is coming up. Let's observe this later. And also for here, the Cafe Americano, already competitors coming to Chicago and selling their own products. Doesn't matter. Let's emerge and try to capture faster and more. No, not like that. We will go to this store, duplicate in mall. This is the easiest way of doing it. Set up a new store, existing firm. Here it is. Let's also observe whether all of the coffee products are successfully prepared. Yeah, that is the case. Now we will move back to Naples. Go here, fast food joint, duplicate in mall. Go back to Chicago. I think this has a very high rating with 41. This has a rating of 19 and this shopping mall of 27. So this one's obviously the best one for first setup, existing firm. And now we also have a fast food joint over here. Let's start operations. Yeah, and let's now check the price position and the position of our products in the market. For hamburger, there again seems to be a competitor also just doing the same as we did. Overall rating is 14 and city overall is 22. So we need to lower the price quite a lot to be better in the overall rating. Let's check fried chicken. This is already okay. And for French fries, this is also okay. Let's go a little bit higher by lowering the price like that. And now checking the impact of the long transport distance from European based city of Salzwedel to North American based city of Chicago. For example, for frozen chicken supplier, we see here that frozen chicken total freight costs are $1. Quite expensive because it makes up almost 60% of the selling price of this frozen chicken. Therefore, it could make sense to produce it locally to avoid the high transport costs and add the safe transport costs to our own margin. And this is what we will do now. But first, before we do that, let's first also emerge into the other. This we will do first. Duplicate into the other malls. Existing firm, yes. Double checking that it works. Yes, this works. Duplicate in mall. Here's another one. Fourth one. Set up existing firm. Yes. Here we are, selling our own fast food products in this restaurant to the people of Chicago. So, having done that, we will now start to locally produce some of the input ingredients so that we avoid transport costs and simply add the savings to the margin of our products. And this we will do for frozen chicken. This means we will set up another farm. Probably we cannot afford it now. We see that we need almost $15 million, and currently we are at 3.5 million. So it is not possible to set it up now. If we don't want to take further loans, we need to wait until we have earned the money so that we can set it up. This takes a while now. April is almost done. While this is happening, we can check the notifications. There has been R&D projects being completed. They are currently on a research duration of 6 months. So also for the coffee products, we will change this to 1 year in the next cycle. We are now earning enough money so that soon we should be able to buy the farm. Yeah, now it should be possible. We are in May now. Buy a large farm. This time again, we will put it close enough to the city and also not too far away from one of the seaports, probably here. Like that, training to the maximum. Livestock raising, livestock processing. 1 sales and 1 inventory unit. Raise livestock, chicken. Chicken once again. Now select product frozen chicken. Here we are, frozen chicken. Now go to one of our fast food joints and link to, and now we see the difference. Let's check ourselves, our corporation as supplier, and now we see the difference. If we transport them from Salzwedel, from our second farm, to Chicago, the freight cost is $1.16. If we do it within the same city, it's $0.16, $1 saved. So this is what we will do now in batch for a service firm like Proton, all in Chicago. Batch switching, 3 updated. Why only 3? We should have 4. Yeah, because here's 1 missing. Okay, let's quickly fix that. Duplicate in mall. Set up store, existing one. Like that. Yeah, all of the products appear and demand increases. So we are also selling now hamburgers, fried chicken and French fries to the consumers in Chicago. The same we can do also for burger patty. We are now paying 77 cents to transport burger patties from Salzwedel to Chicago. And also this we can change, right? When we have enough money. For now we don't have it, so we will do something else. We will expand also with our fast food joints into even further into the next city, which is the last city left open, Seattle. Let's do that. Duplicate in mall. Seattle. And here we find 1, 2, 3, 4 malls. Set up existing firm, like that. Fast food joint. Here we are. Let's manage the pricing so that we grow fast. This is good. This one is not good enough. Like this. Good, now demand should increase quickly. Yes, this is the case, and we will once again duplicate to the other malls. As we see, there are always already coffee shops. So in our first session, we took care of that. Yeah, this is the case. Next one. Here's no coffee shop, not ourselves. There's a competitor coffee shop. Seems that we are running out of cash. We need more money. We need to borrow more money from the bank. We are growing too fast and we cannot organically grow. So let's take another So credit limit is quite high, yeah, 20 million. Here we are. Let's check whether this works. Yes, everything is fine. There's a coffee shop missing. Let's check whether we still have market potential. Checking here, we see that there's still a huge share of this market for all of the coffee products, which can be captured by us just by selling more in shorter time. So what we will do is in the coffee shop, duplicate in mall and also set it up here. There are all of our products now. Very good. Demand is now growing slowly. And here we want to also set up a fast food joint. Here it is. So we have now set up 4 new fast food restaurants in the city of Seattle, selling again our fast food products. Very good. There's one aspect of fast food which is quite interesting, and that is why, in spite of our coffee beans, yeah, it is not so critical if we produce too much of a good, more than we need. For example, for frozen beef. We see here demand is high, but supply is much higher, and already the inventory is filling up with frozen beef, which we cannot sell at the moment because the demand is simply not there. Let's check for frozen chicken. The situation is even worse, so to say. Yeah, a lot of frozen chicken is stored in inventory and cannot be sold. But luckily for the product class of fast food, many of the input ingredients can also be sold through retail shops. And this is where we can also make use of production capacity to sell it via retail shops and not only rely on the demand coming from our fast food restaurants. Very nice synergy we can create here. And this is the case for burger patty. When we click on this in the manufacturer's guide, we see that this belongs to the food product class. Can be sold in department stores, supermarket, convenience stores, and discount mega stores. This is also the case for burger buns. This is the case for frozen chicken as a livestock product, and also the case for frozen beef, which is needed for the production of burger patties. So this means there should be 1, 2, 3, 4 input products of the needed for the preparation of fast food, which can also be sold in our own retail stores. And this is what we will do now to further grow our business. And as we see, there is still production capacity left over, which is not needed for current fast food restaurants. We will go to the shopping mall with the highest rating. Let's check. This one is 14. Here we see 30. This one's 31. Check here. Is there still space? Yes. Set up a new store. And this time we will set up a convenience store. And in this convenience store, training to the maximum, we will now set up one purchasing unit. And this is how we do it all the time in Capitalism Lab. We will link to frozen chicken, but of course from Salzwedel. We see here again the impact of freight costs. We will also purchase the frozen beef. Add another floor and do the same. Purchase the burger buns and also purchase the burger patty from ourselves. Yes. Another advertisement unit. And why did we choose to do this over 2 floors? Because frozen chicken, frozen beef, both are livestock products. They will have under the ranged brand strategy. Let's check. This is what we have said in the beginning. Remembering here, ranged brand. A brand covers a range of products where one livestock products will have one brand and the food product, burger buns and burger patty, will have their own brand. That's also directly linked to media. and attribute a little bit of budget. And now let's start to sell everything and see where we stand with the products. For frozen chicken, our rating is much higher than in the city, so we can increase the price a lot and sell at higher price, and still demand should be high. Here for frozen beef, this is not the case. The overall is 37. The reason is there's already a competitor. For burger buns, also here we have competition. And we see that burger buns, actually, we see here, you need to pay 0.71 and can, if we don't want to make losses, can sell with 0.72, but still the overall rating is lower than the city overall. This is due to our brand is too, has not enough awareness, brand rating points, quality is lower, and therefore we cannot compete. So burger buns, this will be a very difficult market for us. Burger patty, this is probably not as bad, but this will also be not so easy for us. Yeah, and a very small margin to still be competitive. We will improve a little bit through advertising and a higher brand rating. So later we can increase prices, but for the quality, we are at the moment doing nothing. And we can improve the quality of burger buns and burger patties by simply investing into R&D. And let's do that. Burger buns, burger patty. Those are both from the food category. We will now view the talents for food. Let's check the cities. Seattle looks good. Yeah, let's go to Seattle. Set up another R&D center here. In the usual way. Let's check for headhunting. No, this is not possible. Hire all, start R&D. Burger buns first. And also now let's do 6 months first. Return to our headquarters. Check again. Food. R&D job candidates. I think we will now go again to Chicago and set up here another R&D center. Here. Training. This layout. No headhunting opportunities. Hire all, start R&D, burger patties. This time also 6 months for the first iteration. Now let's go back to Salzwedel and to our convenience store. Yes, and this we need to observe now. Later, at a later stage, we probably will be able to catch up a little bit with the competition and therefore sell more. For now, the growth will be quite slow and they will not take so much of our production capacity. But anyway, this is a nice synergy, and for frozen chicken and frozen beef, it actually works. This, of course, we can do also, duplicate them all, not only in Salzwedel, also in Naples, which is a city not too far away. You can find here the shopping mall with the highest rating, 17, 19 overall rating. This one, 12. There are 4 now, I believe. The 4th one we haven't seen so far, 28. So here we will set up a store. There's still space, existing firm. Okay, here it is. Let's check the same. For frozen chicken, now we see that our freight costs are hurting us a little bit. It could be lower if we produce it locally and we could have a higher margin, but we will accept that for the moment. Frozen beef. Here we probably will not be able to compete efficiently. Let's keep it at that. Still, through improving in our brand, we can probably gain a little bit of market share. For burger buns, this should be very difficult, yes. We can maybe go with a lower price, but not actually, we are not competitive. Competition is quite high. For burger patties, the same. Maybe we can accept a price like this. The reason is the quality is good. It's okay for burger patties, but the brand, of course, yeah, this is completely missing here in this city. So we will also invest here into monthly advertising. Great. So this is the same now in Naples. We wanted, remembering that, to do two things. We wanted to use our own grown crops in our fast food restaurants rather than linking to our suppliers. Let's check how far we are with this. And also we wanted to, some parts of our livestock production wanted to also move to North America so that we don't pay for the high transportation costs. Let's first go to Salzwedel. Here we have a couple of farms and check their status. So potatoes are grown but not ready yet. Coffee beans are now in the next iteration. They are now grown. Tomato is grown, wheat is still waiting. For coffee beans, we see that there are no coffee beans left over in the farm. We have quite a lot stored here. So this should be enough for now. But we will see whether this, what we have in the inventory, is enough to supply all of the coffee shops. If this is not the case, we will, after time, when we run empty, we need to switch to the import again until our own coffee beans, this time with 4 crop growing units, will be available to our corporation. Okay, nothing to be done here. Let's return to Chicago, where we have already set up one farm producing frozen chicken. And it seems like we have some, we're still meeting demand, right, with frozen chicken. Therefore, let's set up also a convenience store somewhere here. This should be a very high rating, yes. There's still space. Retail firm, convenience store. Discount mega store, by the way, cannot be set up here anymore because the space which is left over in the mall is not available anymore. Convenience store, training maximum, trading and sales, advertising, of course, link to, and this time to the one from Chicago. Also invest into advertising to improve the product rating here. Frozen chicken. Yeah, it's competitive. We can even increase the price a little bit. This should work well. And we need to wait until we have enough money to buy another farm in Chicago. Research projects have been completed. Cafe Americano. We said here we want to switch from 6 months to 1 year. We will do this now for all the research projects for coffee, like that, and another time like that. With 1 year, we have a higher tech advancement than only running at 6 months. Great. And having done that, while we wait to have enough money to also set up a cattle farm in Chicago, we will duplicate this convenience store also in the city of Seattle and move here to the shopping mall with the highest rating. This is 20, this is 19, this is 19 once again. What about this one? 20. Okay, all similar. Existing firm set up. Yes, convenience store. Let's sell frozen chicken. Yeah, this is good. Link to media, like that. 100K per month. Yeah, that's fine. Good. And still we need time until we have enough money for another farm. What we can do is we can optimize our pricing. We can, for example, now go to Salzwedel and check for our fast food joint for all the products, as we have now a brand rating of 14, whether there's room for increasing prices. This will also improve our revenue situation, improve our income, and therefore we will faster get to the funding needed for another farm. Also here we can increase. And for French fries, we can also increase the price. We already reached almost 50% of the market. There's no competitor so far for any of those products. Very nice situation. Good. Hamburger. Yeah, are served well. We can do the same for coffee. Let's check here. Yes, a little bit room for price increase. You should not do this too heavily, as a too high price increase could lead to damage to our brand. The loyalty will drop. Still, the loyalty is negative, by the way. Why is it negative? Because the quality of our products has not reached such of a high enough level that customers who are all aware of our product will buy again. They will rather say, let's not try this again. This was not so good. Through constantly investing into the quality of those products, we will here improve in this, and brand loyalty should be positive soon. Also here we can do a little bit of a price increase. Yeah, that's great. And this is of course quite cumbersome to be done. The same as always managing the marketing, yeah, to increase the brand awareness, in this case for fast food in this example, and to relieve ourselves of this cumbersome work, we can hire a chief operating officer and a chief marketing officer, and they will take care of this. Of course, we need to give them instructions, but this time, this way, we will save from all the work from constantly resetting and adapting the prices. We need someone with high retail expertise. Our shops and our stores will benefit from it. This lady would be good. This lady has also high expertise in marketing. Jacob or James or Matteo, Camilla. Yeah. Let's hire her as Chief Operating Officer. We will now set up the management policies. The pricing policy should be more in the direction of maximizing the market share. They should not change anything else. Never change it. Budgets, never change it. I think this one should be the right setting to only adapt the pricing. Now maybe a little bit higher, so like that. Now we will go to all of the different kind of stores and shops we have. Convenience, appoint manager, every new retail store, every retail store. Also for fast food joints, every new service firm, every service firm. And now someone will take care of the right pricing so that we still increase in market share, but of course are profitable and so on. Yeah, that's it. Okay, great. It should be, let's double check somewhere in Chicago. Fast food joint. Yeah, Camilla is appointed manager of this. Great. Do we have enough money? Not yet. So we will do something else in between. Let's check whether we are existing in all of the shopping malls. Yeah, I think this is the case so far for Seattle. Is this the case in Seattle? Yes, that's the case. In Chicago, let's double check. In Chicago, we have a huge growth potential as this is a very large city. Room for a lot of coffee shops and no other shopping mall over here. And fast food joints. What about Naples? 1, 2, and only 3, 4. Okay, here we can still grow. Let's see where we stand on the market. Of course, we have high potential here for fast food. Duplicate in mall. Also here, set up new store, existing firm. Yes. Also here we see brand loyalty is negative due to the low quality of our products. We will improve that soon. Let's also from time to time check for the supply chain, whether all input products are really available. This is the case. And also for the coffee shop, we will duplicate in mall and set it up here. Coffee beans are still available, so inventory has not gone to 0 so far. We also have here high market share still to be captured. So again, R&D projects are completed and we want to switch from 6 months to 1 year. We will do that now, 1 year. Once again, also this one, 1 year. And once again, switch also hamburger to 1 year. So you take advantage after 1 year of 130 points. Very good. Great. Money is still missing. Let's check for what to check for. In Chicago, we have set up a convenience store. Yes, the demand for frozen chicken is quite high. We can add more sales capacity. From version 11 onwards of Capitalism Lab, one purchasing unit can supply 3 sales units. This was before version 11 it was 2, but now it has been changed to 3. We can also do this in Seattle, I believe. Let's double check. No, where do we have? I think here, right? Here's our convenience store. Yes. Let's anticipate that and add more sales units. Sure, this puts also higher demand on the chicken farm. Not to forget that we need to take care of that there's enough capacity to produce what is asked for. Here, for example, we see that the demand for frozen beef is currently very, very high. We can link to the inventory. This has been missing here, I see. Maybe this helps to relieve the situation, but probably this is a bottleneck which we will solve in a minute. We also see that potato is now available. Our own potato is available in 2 farms. Coffee beans not yet. Milk is fine. Wheat, coffee beans, and tomato is still being grown. So let's add how to do it. 2 input units, 1 storage unit, 1 output unit. Here we link to potatoes, our own potatoes. Here we see the different options we have. Import company, quality 62. Our 2 farms, quality 60, not as good, but the price also not as good, but at least this goes into our own pocket and freight costs are a little bit lower. Let's first pick this one and then link to the other one. Now it is stored and available in this warehouse, and from here we will supply all of the fast food restaurants with potatoes. One of the fast food joints, input, supplier, no, link, potato from our own warehouse, batch, and this time service firms from our corporation in all city. 15 firms updated. Great. This should now increase demand here at the warehouse. Yeah, this is the case. And our own potatoes are sold. So another 50 cents added to our revenue. Very good. We have now enough money to in Chicago establish another farm. Where are we? Yes. Here's our chicken farm. We will now set up another farm also for beef. So we need to raise cattle. This will, by the way, of course, relieve the high demand and the bottleneck and resolve the bottleneck which we have currently in the Salzwedel farm. It's the only one for all of the 15 fast food restaurants. Obviously not enough. Let's link it like that. Now raise livestock, cattle. Advance the simulation by 1-2 days. Now produce frozen beef. There it is. We can now, first of all, because frozen beef is not the only step, right? First of all, we can link it to our convenience store and also sell it directly to our consumers through the farm from Chicago. Let's see where we stand with frozen beef. Rent is still 0. This is not enough budget, but we don't want to invest more at the moment. Yeah, that's good. The demand should grow fast. Yeah, that is the case. This is actually not a very good setup here. We should do it like that. Here we stop the purchasing. Yes, and now instead of a purchasing unit here, we will add another sales unit like that. Now it makes sense, right? This is the best layout. Very good. Good, but we also need a factory to produce burger patties. So we set up a large factory quite close to this farm. Here, training to the maximum. And 2 purchasing units, 2 sales units, 5 manufacturing units. Link everything. Purchasing beef from here. We see the difference. It's $1. Shipping and frozen products of such a large distance over the ocean, of course, is expensive. There's our own burger patty, and now we need to be careful. We go to the fast food joint, burger patty, supplier. Yes, link. No, not again. Link. Patty. We now go to the factory in Chicago. Batch switching, but only for Chicago, right? Batch switching supplier, 4 firms updated. And in Seattle, we will do the same. Of course, it is closer for Seattle to transport it from Chicago to Seattle rather than transporting it all over the ocean from Europe. Therefore, we will go here now, burger patty, the same. We will link now to the other factory. No, not like that. Batch service firm, Seattle. Batch switching for updated. Great. Is this working? Let's double check. Yeah, this should work. Great. So we have now in Salzwedel hopefully a better situation here. Yeah, frozen beef demand decreasing rapidly, so not an issue anymore. And we also see how our revenue recovers. We see this here in the small graphics below, on the below line. We are now finally earning more and more money, and we can grow faster or sell back or pay back our loans. But for now, we will invest into growth. Here should be no one anymore being provided with potatoes. Yeah, this is true. And I think tomatoes are also now available. Yes, they are also now available here. So we will also link in all of the fast food joints where hamburgers are prepared to tomatoes. Link tomato from ourselves. Batch, and this time again all. This should be 15, yes. And this would be enough. 2 crop growing units should be enough at this stage. Probably when the company grows a lot, it will not be enough, but for now it's okay. As a reminder, we can always check in the information center in the manufacturer's guide here how many pounds or units we need. For example, frozen chicken, 3 pounds for 5 units of fried chicken. For hamburgers, it's 1 pound of tomatoes for 5 units of hamburgers. So this ratio means probably it's enough. What else do we have? Wheat is still being grown, and coffee beans are still getting grown. And what we see here now is we are running out of coffee beans. And this is exactly where we run into this supply chain disruption scenario. We don't have enough coffee beans, so our coffee houses will stop being supplied by coffee beans. Coffee beans will only be available from January onwards anymore, because then the next coffee beans from this year's growing season will be available. And this is obviously not enough, right? So we need to link to the import firm once again and use our imported coffee beans to supply our coffee houses. This was just the right moment to identify that. Now the supply chain disruption has been avoided. Okay, great. What else? We have a lot of money now. We can now go to Chicago and not only produce our own burger patties, but also produce our own burger buns. Does it make sense? I think burger buns are not selling well. We don't need much. I think it does not make sense. What about burger patty? There we already set up a second store. I think it does not make sense. So we leave it for now. Instead, we will go to the convenience store and check the situation here. A lot of frozen chicken being asked for, more than we can supply. The same for frozen beef. So this is a business opportunity. This is a better business opportunity to invest more into livestock raising of chicken and livestock processing, of course. Livestock raising chicken. Let's advance by 1 or 2 days. Then select the product frozen chicken. This should help. And also here, adding 1/3 of raising and processing capacity. Like that. With cattle and frozen beef. Let's advance the simulation by 1 or 2 days. No, this is wrong. Frozen beef. Great. This should improve the situation. And this is where, again, we see that there are two business opportunities from one type of business, fast food. We set up fast food chain and we provide with our own input product, the fast food chain, but at the same time, there are always opportunities to also part of the input products selling in any retail stores in the city shopping malls. And having said that, we see now how we, within not even 1 year of gameplay, it's now November 2001, we started our session in January 2001, where within 11 months, we could grow and emerge our fast food chain in all the different cities. And we have seen also some of the challenges and where we need to keep an eye on, where competition is hard. For example, when selling burger buns in our own retail stores, or where we were first on the market and could ask for any price because there were no one else. When we now check, and this is best checked in the information center for the situation in all the different cities, we see, for example, that in Salzwedel we are the only fast food brand available. In Seattle, Chicago, there is a competitor, Zeta Group, and in Naples we are still the only one providing the products. And this way we can now closely manage our supply chain to manage any risk or supply chain disruption, and at the same time, of course, the overall product rating to have a strong position in the market with a high quality and high brand, to make brand management easier in a dynamic situation where competitors show up and where in some cities we need large advertising budgets because there are large cities. In other cities, smaller advertising budgets are sufficient to also not do it by ourselves and take too much time for those micromanagement activities. We can also now hire a CMO, someone who has high expertise in marketing, taking over managing the marketing budget. What about Maria? High expertise in marketing, very good. Let's hire her as Chief Marketing Officer, like that. Target brand rating, we will simply put it to the maximum for now. That's it, what we need to tell our new CMO, and she will manage marketing from now on in all of the different cases. She will not only manage marketing for those advertising units, she will also take over management of marketing here in those overviews. We see here already something changed. A budget of 82K was assigned to the TV station in Salzwedel, so immediately on day 1 got active to improve our brand awareness in the city of Salzwedel. And this way, a fast food chain was set up by us from scratch. Part of the funding of the fast food chain came from what we earned from our coffee house chain. Part needed to be financed and borrowed via debt. And in this case, now having such growth rate, I think for now, as our CMO will invest a lot of money into our brand. Probably the revenue will be a little bit lower for the next months, but afterwards, when the brand rating is quite high and we achieved a higher market share and revenue increases and profitability increases, then we will earn so much money that we will probably already pay back our loan. And having said that, I hope you enjoyed the session. If you like this kind of business gameplay content, don't forget to like the video or to follow the Light Proton channel. And I hope to see you again in the next session. Thank you for watching.